Hi, my name is Glenn Story. I'm the founder and CEO of Patriot Mobile. I'd love for you to learn more about Patriot Mobile, www.patriotmobile.com/Gene V. More importantly, I'd like you to be a subscriber to his show. I mean, his Truthcast is amazing. And if you get to listen to some of them, you'll never go back. I really encourage you to come watch it.
People wait all week for the Velvet Hammer, and he's in the house, Michael.
He is. And the studio crowd, they're right over there, folks. They are going crazy because they love Gene Valentino, the Velvet Hammer. Good morning, sir.
With the diamonds and the rubies just dripping off of me and a ring on every finger of my hand.
That's right. A very good Friday morning to you. We got a nice weekend ahead. A lot going on in the country. What's your thought for today?
Oh, boy. I am stunned. Isn't it weird? I was thinking about this morning, that in America, you can now fly the American flag proudly, and everyone knows who you're voting for.
Yeah, isn't that something? That is, what a thought that is. Yeah, because folks know that people who are flying the flag, they're patriotic and they're going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it amazing that patriotism and respect and honor are now associated with just one party, as the Democrat Party continues to promote this Western glib of jihadist insurgency in the United States. Hey, before I go down that path, I got a thought for you. If you put 100 black ants and 100 red ants in a jar, nothing happens. But if you shake that jar vigorously, the ants start killing each other. The red ants will believe the black ants are the enemy, and the black ants will believe the red ants are the enemy. But the real enemy is the person who shook the jar.
Yeah.
The same is true in our society. Before we start to fight each other, we must ask ourselves, who shook the jar? And that's what we must be careful of as we approach this next election. The two-party system in this nation works, but it has been manipulated and disrupted by jar shakers, the George Soroses, the Alvin Braggs, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Jerry Nadler. Can I continue with 20 more names? These people must go.
These people are the enemy. I'm telling you, these people hate this country, and they are our enemy, and we have to fight and continue to fight because, look, they're going to take this country over if we don't go out and vote. We only have one more shot, I believe, at continuing to have the democratic republic that our forefathers gave us. It's so easy to lose if we don't pay attention and we don't go out here and let our position be known. We've got to get somebody back in office that cares about this country. Start talking about patriotism. Did you see where the kid was suspended from school for giving a patriotic speech? Did you see this?
Yeah, that's more of the same rhetoric that's coming. It's broader in the school systems, Michael. It's going even further. Do you remember the day, we were making fun earlier with our long hair and what it was like in the 70s and 80s. But it was that era where when we went into the classroom and our school day began, what were we doing in our homeroom class? We were putting our right hand to our chest and saying the Pledge of Allegiance to a flag that was posted proudly at the front of the room. Today,
the of liberty and justice for all.
Not the select few, for all. And we've turned into a deep state where the autocrats, the fascists, are trying to move forward with hey, you listening, you just do what I tell you to do, and I'll tell you what's good. I'll tell you what's bad. I'll tell you what's right. I'll tell you what's wrong. And you just follow what I tell you to do, and you'll be just fine. You see the play?
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, do you see the play? That's what's happening. Meanwhile, 8 Americans are still held hostage by Hamas, and terrorists are within our border. Biden has blood on his hands now, Michael, and we must. I'm not worried about whether he's sniffing the hair of some female prime minister or president. I'm concerned about him being a tool of a deep state orchestration of the takedown of America from within. And America must rise up now. We can't wait. Like I've said 1,000 times, we can't wait till the November election. We need a system in place when this nation is taken back and gotten back under control under Donald Trump. I hope he can do 40 things at once. And one of them should be a constitutional amendment that rights the ship and more immediately penalizes wrongdoers. We can't wait for an election where you come and say, "I will vote that SOB out in November." No, it might be too late by then. China will be at our doorstep. Thousands, 20, 30, 50,000 Chinese are now within the United States. The jihadists are in our neighborhoods. Their guns are raised and they're doing things to hurt you and me and our neighbors. It's here. We must act quickly to take it over now. They have, within our government, they have effectively weaponized the agencies of government, the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA, and the Department of Education, which took these flags down in this classroom in the first place. I'm amazed at how resilient we remain. There's so many different levels of conversation here, but the real level is that it's okay, America. It's okay to be patriotic. It's okay to put that right hand on your chest and pledge allegiance to these United States of America. And here's your history class reminder that you probably didn't hear recently, at least the woke folk didn't, and that is America is approaching 250 years, the longest continuously running governance in the world. That says something. That means those amendments, which need changing, but those amendments to our Constitution have been so elastic and resilient to address issues. We didn't have Bitcoin back in the 1776, did we? We didn't have computers, but Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies may be the solution, and Donald Trump's got that in play as a cure for the debt and the crisis, the financial crisis we're experiencing in America today.
You know, you made me think that there's a group out there, the Heritage Foundation, that is putting together a list of possible government employees, people that can be pre-vetted and checked out and be on lists for the president. Because let me tell you what, whenever he takes office, you talked about how many things can he do at once. And that made me think of this, because if you are interested in serving in our government coming up in the Trump administration, which we pray to God that we are going to get, then the Heritage Foundation has I'm not sure what you call it. It's just a group of people that are putting together names of people who are qualified for different positions across the government. And Donald Trump has got to do one thing whenever he gets in there first, and that's get rid of all of the dead weight that is basically slamming us straight toward pure totalitarianism. These people that believe these things, that they need to be gone. We need to get rid of them. But we have to govern, right? So we have to have good people, including judges and department heads and all kind of folks that have to run the government and make these things happen for the United States of America. So if you're interested, that's all I'm saying. If you're interested, you should go to the Heritage Foundation, look this up, put your name on the list, fill it out, and hopefully we will have a large group of really good folks who are prepared to serve the government for at least 4 years, and let's get this country back where it needs to be.
In July next month, I'll be in Nashville. There's a event there for 3 days called the Council of National Policy, CNP. John Solomon and Tom Fenton from these different groups are part of the group. I'm proud to be affiliated with them now. And one of the things we're doing, Michael, is what you just said. We are going to have a candid discussion and vet, literally help the president and the president's team vet the priorities of repair to this nation. It's coming up, and Mr. Trump has been as clever as ever in not revealing who his vice presidential candidate is. In one sense, it could be a Marco Rubio grabbing the Latinos. In another sense, it could be J.D. Vance. The one I'm hot on is Governor Doug Burgum out of North Dakota. He comes in as not being part of the economic, not part of the political rancor. He comes in as an economist and a businessman, very much like Trump. I suspect Trump is going to be putting him in. And I think my chips are on Burgum. I think he's the one that's going to maintain and grow the economic opportunity again for this nation, while Trump deals with the things that are less obvious, more subversive, and both domestically and abroad. So heads up on Doug Burgum. That's my pick. I don't think it's going to be Ben Carson. I don't think it's going to be my guy here in Florida, Byron Donalds. I don't think it's going to be Elise Stefanik out of New York. I think Doug Burgum or Tim Scott maybe, but or Rubio. But we'll see. Details at 11, as they say in the news business.
Film at 11.
Film at 11. Logic to follow.
Yeah, boy, we're showing our age now. That was certainly something we used to see when we were younger. So, all right. So, building a new government, taking out people like, well, you obviously your main leaders of the government will be replaced. But how far down into the government do we need to go to get rid of the people who have, number one, opposed Trump all along and started all of the craziness? How deep do you need to go in these organizations before you get to a point where it's just regular folks who just want to do their job? Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do.
Short answer, knowing we're out of time, all of them. The way you do it is the way other presidents have done it in the past. Everyone hands in their resignation, and I'm going to cherry pick. You reapply if interested, and I'll cherry pick who I'm going to keep on or who fresh I'm going to bring in. That's my call. That's what I would do. It's the only way to clean house. One thing I know for sure, the agencies of our government have been polluted and corrupted several levels down. It's not just about the president anymore. It's the bureaucrats who've been in there 4 or 5 decades and have mismanaged the internal workings of this nation.
The bureaucrats don't care because they're going to be there when he's gone. They'll just lay low and continue to do their thing. We need to get rid of the Department of Education. We need to get rid of the EPA. We need to reorganize the FBI for sure. Those are the 3 things we need to do.
Department of Justice and the CIA.
Department of Justice and CIA. They all need to be reorganized, reworked, and make it so that they can't run our government, which is what we see happening.
That's
today.
Correct. With preference to the guy who was elected that they're kissing up to, knowing they've got a few more years in place to get their sweet retirement and go off onto some cushy lifestyle while you and I pay those bills.
Yeah, lobbying the government to do something else stupid. That's that's amazing. Gee,
it's coming. We'll see that change under Trump.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. The weekend ahead. Hope you have a good one, my friend. We'll see you again next week.
And to you, brother Ted, and the rest of the Pine Belt.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.